everybody, happy Wednesday. Today's story is called Seriously, Cinderella is So Annoying. Of course you think Cinderella was the sweetest belle of the ball. You don't know the other side of the story. Well, let me tell you. The story of Cinderella as told by the wicked stepmother. You must have heard of me, the wicked stepmother? Not true. It's just another one of Cinderella's wild stories. Not as wild as the one about the pumpkin and the fairy godmother. The real story, the true story, began with some chatter and some dust. She doesn't look mean. All I ever wanted was a husband and a mansion. Before I married Cindy's father, my two darlings and I met Cindy only a few times. The girls seemed normal. After I married Cindy's father, my darlings and I moved in. When I had just 1 foot on the front step, my dear husband kissed me goodbye and said, "I'm off on business." "He leaves often," Cindy said, "but the animals stay put. They talk, they joke, they sing, they even help out, especially the bluebirds." Got this page. There's Cinderella and her dad. Now, I don't mind a story, but I like the facts, not fiction. Soon the girl was talking of all kinds of hokey pokey. "Once upon a time," Cindy said, "one of the bluebirds became blue. Not the color, the feeling. His friend had flown south and my daughters and I were stuck near the front door. All I wanted to do was unpack my suitcase. And that's when I saw it. Dust." "Dear, is the whole house dusty?" I asked Cinderella. "I don't know," said Cindy. "Come on, I'll give you a tour." Looks a little messy. Spider webs. There's her bird friends. In the dining room, Cinderella told stories. In the study, she told more stories, non-stop. "Girls," I said, "it's time to get to work. This place needs a good cleaning." "Once upon a time when I was cleaning," Cindy said. Oh boy. She liked to tell stories. Cindy mopped the floor, but she finished so fast. My darlings had barely started. "Did you know robins and sparrows are my friends?" she said. "But the sparrows don't like the robins. Silly creatures. Once upon a time, one of the robins—" "Cindy, dear," I said, "why don't you go wash the clothes, But Cindy washed them all so fast. How on earth did she do it? I had to find another chore for her just to keep her busy. "If there's one thing squirrels love, it's washing clothes," Cindy said. "The rats, though, they would rather do the ironing. You know, one day Squirrels and rats doing laundry? Quit telling such silly stories," I said. Time passed, but nothing changed. In the garden, Cindy told stories. In the kitchen, Cindy told stories. At dinner, I couldn't hear myself think. "Dear, please," I said, "stop talking." But Cindy did not stop. I think they wanted some peace and quiet. One day a letter arrived. It was an invitation to the king's ball. The prince would surely fall in love with one of my darlings. Then they would marry, live in a beautiful castle, and one day be king and queen of all the land. "Oh, stepmother, I have to go too," said Cindy. "Once upon a time there was a girl and a prince." And just like that, Cindy lost her voice. Imagine that. It must have been from all that storytelling. Well, what could I do? I told Cindy she had to stay home for her health. She cried, of course, but a ball was no place for a sick girl without a voice. She needed rest. Sometimes it's very hard being a stepmother. She lost her voice. At the ball, my darlings twirled and they whirled, but then some strange girl came waltzing in. Her gown was magnificent. I couldn't take my eyes off it. I wondered how much it cost and if my seamstress could make one for me. The prince and the girl danced and pranced, and my poor darlings were left princeless. You see who it is? How did she get there? A few days later, the prince made an announcement. A glass slipper has been left at the castle. The prince will marry the girl whose foot fits in it. Our big chance. After visiting every other mansion in the neighborhood, the prince's valet arrived at our door. Me, 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 said one of my darlings. No, me, said the other. One at a time, said the valet. The prince. Each girl tried, but the shoe did not fit. Then Cindy pushed out a whisper. Please, let me try. The shoe fit. Cindy pulled the match out of her pocket. What? Cried my darlings. Cindy pushed out another whisper. She said something about a pumpkin coach and mice that turned into horses. She even added a fairy godmother. Please, there's no such thing. I still don't know where she got those shoes. A few days later, the prince married Cindy. Poor man, he had no idea what he was getting himself into. But we lived happily ever after. They do look happy. So let's take a look at our chart today. What was the name of the girl in our story? Her name was Cindy. And was there a fairy godmother that we saw in the story? There wasn't, but did we hear about it in one of Cindy's stories? Yes, we did. Did the stepmother believe her? I don't think so. Was there a mean stepmother and two mean stepsisters? No, I think they were pretty nice. I don't think they were mean to Cinderella. Was there a beautiful ball gown? Apparently so. Was there a glass slipper? There was. It didn't say that she went to the ball in a coach, but I think when she was in her bed resting, if you looked out the window, you saw a coach. So yes, there was one. And was there a handsome prince? Yes, there was. And do you think they lived happily ever after? Do you think the prince enjoyed her stories? I'm wondering, but we do know who did live happily ever after, the stepmother and her stepdaughters. I'll see you again tomorrow with another Cinderella story.